Alrighty guys, so we are basically just a little over 1 day from the release of the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 6, which is later going to lead right into the season finale that's going to roll into February. A lot of fans are very excited about the Book of Boba Fett's end and exactly how it's going to tease everything of what's to come for The Mandalorian Season 3, and that's exactly how the Book of Boba Fett is going to really tie into the next Star Wars project. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So, now that we're in a very interesting phase of Star Wars, given that we are getting very close to the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, The Bad Batch Season 2, and even Star Wars Andor plus Mando Season 3 later this year around the holiday season, there is a lot of stuff coming our way also for the Star Wars lore. We're talking about the books, the novels, and the comics that's going to supply or supplement all of the TV shows that we are aware of right now. So, given that we have, of course, George, John, and Dave working on that as well, we also have new creators coming on board of the Star Wars franchise. I think that Deborah Chow, the latest director that's really going to handle the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series very well, we can all trust in her because she knows a lot about how to handle a character like Obi-Wan and wants to actually respect George Lucas. So I think that Deborah Chow is really going to knock it out of the park. Now, where it leads us right now as to what's going on with the Mandoverse at large. Now, we already know that the Mandoverse is going to consist of mainly projects, or TV shows, I should say, that take place in that post-Return of the Jedi era. That is what's labeled as the Mandoverse. This is a fan-created name, by the way, that John and Dave picked up on it and are also calling it that now, but when you look at everything related to this, what's really exciting, it has everything to do with what's being planned. So with the Bad Batch Season 2 just about complete and getting ready to debut this spring, Lucasfilm is also working on another animated series that is going to focus on Crimson Dawn and Darth Maul that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration this year. However, in the meantime, a new development has been happening behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm by George Lucas, and how Jon Favreau is going to utilize George Lucas's plans for The Mandalorian Season 4. Now, further, it's noted that both Lucas and Favreau are already storyboarding scenes for The Mandalorian Season 4 that will debut in 2023. One of the scenes have been finalized to become a part of the script that involves Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Ben Solo in the series. Now, the scene entails a big moment in which the Millennium Falcon is seen landed and parked in front of Luke Skywalker's Jedi training temple, with Han Solo's hand resting on Ben Solo's shoulders. Ben Solo appears to be in his young teens here in the entire scene that is planned for Mando Season 4. It's a rear view of both Solo and Ben watching Luke Skywalker standing in the middle of a circle of Jedi students that are watching Luke levitating a solid rock, of course, with brand new Jedi attire on. Now, the thing about this entire sequence, in case you guys did not know, this was originally going to be done for The Force Awakens. I don't know if you guys remember, many years ago, there was a big scene that was being pitched by J.J. Abrams and crafted by J.J. that was going to focus on Han Solo dropping off Ben Solo at Luke's Jedi training temple. They wanted to kind of dive more into exactly what happened with Ben right from the get-go, right in the very beginning. And that entire scene got scrapped. It only really got partially filmed. It really went nowhere. They never really completed it. And now you can see that John, George, and Dave are picking up on that and kind of dragging it into The Mandalorian Season 4 that's all sitting ready to debut next year. Now, in case you guys did not know this, The Mandalorian Season 4, it's not going to be called Season 4. This is something important that I think a lot of fans need to be aware of. It's going to be called something completely new. It's going to have The Mandalorian with a subtitle underneath it, and we're not quite sure exactly why they're going that route. It most likely has to do with the fact that The Mandalorian as a series is no longer just focused on Din Djarin and his travels. It's now focused on characters like the Armorer, or, of course, we also have other characters joining into the Star Wars universe like Luke, Grogu, Kyle Katarn, and more that's going to be explained further. Alright, we're going to dive into that a little bit later. Now, with that being said, Luke appears to be wearing a white Jedi robe this time around in the scene with black lining on the sides, a new uniform apart from his new Jedi Order. So that's another interesting thing, is that Luke is getting brand new Jedi attire in the series. This really raises a couple of questions. Why would he be getting brand new Jedi attire in the Star Wars, Mandalorian series? Well, it could very well have something to do with the fact that this is a new Jedi Order. It's going to be run differently, in fact, far differently, drastically speaking, than how it was run by the Jedi Council in the prequel trilogy movies. We have seen that even in Legends, Luke Skywalker ran things differently. I mean, he had children, of all things. So, when you look at everything related to Star Wars now, they're really making some key changes to the Star Wars lore. Now, the scene is set to involve Han Solo dropping off Ben Solo to Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy and is labeled as being a flashback for The Mandalorian Season 4, as the Mandoverse is now going to be dealing with flashbacks in each and every show and will be the new standard in Star Wars to tell multiple stories from different eras. Now, a little bit of a spoiler from Mandalorian, alright, for, I should say, the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 5. It felt like The Mandalorian, but in that episode, we do get a little flashback to a particular time. I won't say anything else beyond that, but we do get a flashback in a very important time that shows us a little bit more about Mandalore. That's all I'll say. So, this entire scene also is set to involve a sparring session between Ben Solo and Luke Skywalker after Ben constructs his very own lightsaber that will be seen in Mando Season 4. It's heavily implied that Ben Solo's lightsaber hilt actually was salvaged from the Old Republic era, and later discovered by Luke during his journey with Lorsan Tekka, making Kylo Ren's saber in the sequels a very dated saber hilt. This is all set to become canon by the end of this summer, where the scene is a series of flashbacks that progresses through the times, showing Luke and Ben connect as uncle and nephew. It's said to be a sequence of Ben Solo getting to know his uncle better, as Luke kept his Jedi training temple location a secret for many years. This is later set to lead to a full-on reunion between both Han and Luke, where of course Harrison Ford has been approached by Jon Favreau and Lucas to come back as Han Solo once again to use that de-aging technology. However, Harrison Ford is still undecided if he wants to return yet another time as Han Solo in the Star Wars universe for Season 4, and is requesting a heavy payout, which is leading Disney in a stagnant situation, with of course what they want to do and how they're going to bring back Han Solo for this scene in Mando Season 4. So, this is the major deal here, is the fact, how are they going to bring back Harrison Ford, or how are they going to use Han Solo as a character in Mandalorian Season 4? This is happening, it's well into development, and it is finalized to become a part of the Mandalorian Season 4's script. Again, as Jon Favreau said a couple of weeks ago, he wants to make sure that he can utilize some of the sequel trilogy characters and how they can kind of mold that into the Mandoverse. And that, to me, I think it just goes to show you that they are slowly building this new era, this post-return of the Jedi era, showing us everything that came in between Episode 6 and Episode 7. And there's a lot to tell. I mean, there's decades worth of Star Wars material to be thrown in there, and that's exactly what Jon Favreau is aware of. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.